out of bounds. Closest guy to that was Coach Seth Whiting. And he caught it. But the puzzling factor of that, again, at a all-time high.
You know, if this kid has as strong as leg as he...
Yeah, why not kick it out of the back of the end zone? I know he suffered an injury in soccer earlier this year, and he hasn't been getting it all the way down to the end zone as much, but still.
But just because that kid took it back 95 yards before, you know.
Shouldn't you be confident in your team being capable of doing better than that?
I think so.
I mean, now look at this. You start with it on your own 43 if you're South.
Yeah. You can't ask for better field position.
You're not doing yourself any favors if you're Alliance.
You get one first down and you're in 4-down territory.
You are. First play here, and then we'll head down to Noah after this play on the sideline. Karavik gives Patterson. Patterson reverses his field. Javon brought down in the open field, and it was Jeff Talbert who brings him down, the cornerback. And while we have a moment, again, brought to you by Sarda, down to the sideline with Noah Hiles.
John, you and I both spoke with the Canton South coaching staff a little bit during halftime, and they said they've been able to make a lot of adjustments in game that they haven't been able to do before, thanks to some new technology they have. They just got the sideline huddle program. That's allowed them to communicate and make some adjustments that they see immediately rather than having to wait to tell each other about during the half.
Handoff here. Goes to one of the first men through the pile, which is Hunter Holcomb. And not much for Holcomb. And a 3rd and long going now. For this offense, 3rd and 8 is 3rd and long.
Yes, it is. It got to be 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 for them to be successful.
Especially when you pass the ball like they do.
But again, we haven't seen a true option look.
No.
We haven't seen that.
Well, maybe a pass here. Karavik has yet to throw a pass tonight, I believe.
They're out there.
And he runs. Karavik running here. Karavik near the first down. He might get it. He's going to be very close, just short, I believe. And now if you're South, this one you have to go for. Calling for a hold here, Elmer, you were.
Right there.
Close to a first down. Big play here for South. 4th and 1 on the Alliance 48. See what happens here. Karavik, QB keeper, got it. Coach Reed told us in his 3rd year at South, he said, we're going to go for it on 4th down a couple times. He said, we're going to take a risk a couple times, and, well, they did right here. Pretty simplistic play.
And pretty basic quarterback sneaks.
Well, typically. Tom Brady seemed to master it over the years for the Patriots.
He's a pretty big guy, too.
He is.
He's a big guy.
To be an NFL quarterback, you typically have to be a pretty big guy. Baker Mayfield.
It's changing. It's changing a little bit.
Karavik runs out. Tyler.
That was just a quarterback sweep there.
This isn't really, as you said, traditional option stuff, is it?
No.
It's kind of an alteration of the option with the formations from the option, isn't it?
Well, you know, if you watch, you know, the West Point Navy, they give you a lot of that wing look on both sides, but we haven't seen the true option. We haven't seen them have to read it yet.
There's an art that goes into it.
Oh,
that's for sure.
It's a lot of work.
And they visited West Point in the offseason to try to get that look at it. Handoff Holcomb here. That was a little bit more option related.
That's an option look, but I'm not sure he's reading it.
It looked to be just a determined handoff from the start, right?
Yeah.
Well, then they're chewing up some time on this drive, and they're moving it. It's slow, but they're moving it.
3rd and 5.
See if they get Karavik in space again. He's been their leading rusher. Is their leading rusher, their leading passer, and their leader. He's in a bit of a gun look. Karavik runs, being pursued. Tyler Karavik ran backwards, which was a mistake, and he was brought down in the open field. Couple of defenders there. Davion Baker, one of the DBs. Carva Hancock, one of the linebackers there. And this will be a punt situation now for South.
This is probably the best Alliance has done of coming up with their defensive backs, turning that stuff back inside.
Braden Knoll gonna punt this deep. Runs out, and nice punt here. Pretty decent from where he started.
Get away from it, 20.
Takes a south roll, and Alliance will have the ball. They'll have to go 85 yards when we come back as they lead by 6.
You can't tell your cold to wait? Talk to a doctor now with the new Altman Now app. Get the app now. You can't tell your migraine to wait. Talk to a doctor now with the new Altman Now app. Download the Altman Now app now.
There was something curious going on. My husband started going for a short drive several times.
He doesn't normally keep things from me, so I just had to see. It turns out he's been hanging with the guys at Sarshone Ford, prepping for tailgating season. Because of their relaxed, no-pressure sales process, he was able to take his time deciding on the exact new F-150 to buy. You'll enjoy the short drive home from Sarshone Ford. Get to know us at sarshoneford.com or stop in for your test drive. Just minutes from Akron, Alliance, Canton, and Kent.
1, ladies and gentlemen. 2, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel this is going to be a big day.
Life were only like this.
Wouldn't want to miss this.
Looking forward to it.
What's this all about?
This is very exciting.
So cool.
Beautiful.
Great.
Mind if I have a look? I'm delighted to be here.
Amen.
I am.
Oh, very groovy, very groovy.
Let's have some fun today.
I like it. I like it a lot.
That's all there is to it.
I've heard a lot about you.
I've heard a lot about you, too.
First and 10 for Alliance on their own 15. Give is to Jeff Talbert. Talbert, a broken tackle away. He had an active first half, Elmer. Was very successful, near 100 yards in that first half. And guessing he's going to be closing in on that rather soon.
Well,
he's at 108 now. Now they appear to be going a little bit of no huddle. There's Talbert again, Jeff Talbert. Now this is what you expected, Elmer.
As Ezekiel Elliott would say, keep feeding him.
Feed me.
Feed me. Keep feeding that boy.
Get that Zeke arm up and ask for him to be fed at this point.
Then everything else is going to open up for him.
It should.
It'll.
Give again to Talbert.
Nice block.
Talbert brought down. Flag is down.
Where are they throwing these flags?
Gavin Moses from the defensive secondary holding against Alliance. They have regularly shot themselves in the foot tonight, Elmer.
Yes, they have.
Not sure where the holding was there.
Well, we can't see it, that's for sure.
Maybe Bugera there on the outside. That's just me hypothesizing with the image that we have. So second and long now.
But that hurt.
This play has gone by. This plays in this quarter have gone by quickly, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
It's been a quick quarter.
Okay.
Second and long. Alexander visibly limping a little bit, as you can see on the screen. He's got a bit of a gimp.
Changed it.
Gives to Talbert. Jeff Talbert pushed backwards. Holcomb wraps him up as he goes out of bounds, the linebacker. South coach and Greg Reed made sure that Holcomb didn't say anything to Talbert there after the play. He pulled Holcomb off of him immediately. He sees that his team at 2-3 is in this thing.
Yes, they are. It's what, 3rd down and 13, 14?
13 to be exact. On their own 28-yard line. Bugera in motion. Odd snap. Pass caught, but going nowhere. John Howard gets across the 30, not even to the 30. And now they have to punt again. Well, what did Coach Reed say during the week? I know Noah's going to be upset at me here, but Coach Reed said during the week that they wanted a game going into the 4th quarter.
They're going to have it. But that was a bad snap, too. He had a hard time handling that snap.
Watch a fake again here, or do you have to kick this?
Oh, you got to kick it.
Bugera on a good snap.
Nice kick.
And a nice kick.
Whoa.
Wow, did he put a leg into that one. And South is going to have to go a length for them offensively. Reminder, after the game, we will have our Altman Health Foundation Player of the Game.
Is that a 50-yard punt?
It's a long one, that's for sure. But after the game, right now, I'm guessing Jeff Talbert probably in the column for Player of the Game. But maybe another decision, a 46-yard punt, Elmer.
46.
Altman Health Foundation after the game, the Player of the Game.
You know what? Thank goodness for Bob being here.
He's a man. He's a glorious statistician.
He is Mr. Stat.
He understands numbers better than most math teachers.
Or bookies.
Well, one of the two, depending on what side of town you're on. Here comes Blackman running on the outside, and Blackman with some nice yardage. Picks up the 1st down. You sounded upset on that. What's the reason
the
for being?
backs are still backing up. There's a sweep being run at them. You got to come up. You can't keep backpedaling when somebody's running at you.
Got to attack the ball, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
see ball, get ball.
Hand off. It's actually Tyler Karavik running with the ball now as Javon Patterson, who is the backup quarterback. He's thrown 15 passes this year, has Patterson. And he gives to Karavik. They're trying to get their playmakers the ball at this point. And Karavik is one of those playmakers, Elmer.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter.
So we played 3 here at Breck Bueller Stadium, and we very much so have a ball game in the EBC. Last year's EBC champions and Alliance are fighting for one in the ring here, and we'll see who comes out on top after this.
Skeppers likes to keep an eye on her neighborhood, like MCTV watches out for our neighbors to make sure everything runs smoothly for our customers. From our technicians in the field to our engineering experts behind the scenes, we use top technology to keep your internet, TV, and phone connected. Plus, expert local technical support and friendly people to greet you. Everything in the neighborhood, the way it should be. MCTV, we go the extra mile.
Y'all know it's football season. Around these parts, football season is barbecue season. If you want to score big on game day, make slow-smoked Old Carolina barbecue your go-to spot before, during, and after all the games. No need to cook on Friday. Meet before the game at Old Carolina. Or grab a party pack and host the ultimate college or pro football party. Featuring award-winning ribs, tender pulled pork, and jumbo smoked wings. We have options for all your pigskin pig-outs. Get more info at oldcarolina.com. Old Carolina Barbecue Company. Meet before the game.
Start of the 4th quarter here on the AltCare TV replay game of the week. John Bozica, Elmer Sheets, Noah Hiles, and Bob Jeffries along with you. And to start the 4th quarter, South with the ball. They have a 2nd and 9 on about their own 37. See if their offense can put some points on the board. They have not scored offensively tonight. They scored on a kickoff return. And Karavic wants to throw, wants to go downfield. Patterson, he dropped it. All alone.
Oh.
That could have been something.
Was by himself.
Wow. Can't be that wide open and not hang on to it, Elmer. If South loses, that kid's going to have nightmares about that catch possibility there. That's not saying Patterson, the senior, has had a nice year. Patterson now. The flag is down, and South wants a timeout. So because of the timeout on the field, Elmer and I will take a break from talking and let the third member of our team talk, and that is Noah Hiles. Noah.
John, you kind of already stole it already, but I'll elaborate a little bit.
Thank you.
Coach Reed talked to us earlier this week about how the goal this whole season was to get into the fourth quarter of every game with a chance. He really likes how his teams performed in the second half this year, and he has a good reason to do so. They came back from behind in the second half to beat Minerva in week 3. They also won the game in the second half against Northwest, a game they overall lost, but outscored a very talented team in the final 2 quarters. They had Salem against the ropes in the second half last week, but didn't make the big stop that they needed. He says if he could get his team in this situation where they need that big stop in the fourth quarter this week, he believes they could make it. Let's see if they can do that right now.
Well, they're going to need to convert here first. That sideline report brought to you by SARTA. And they have Patterson in as the quarterback now. Javon fumbles it, and who has it? Does Alliance have it? They do. The Aviators come up with it after another Wildcat turnover. And Greg Reed, in his 3rd year at South, talked to us about the possibility of being in the game in the fourth quarter, but he also said a key to winning tonight's game would be no turnovers, or at least minimal ones. And this is a costly one here.
Yeah. It was a good snap, and not a very good relationship between the quarterback and the running back.
See if Alliance can put one to the jugular here. That's not a good way to start. Seals was there, but a bad throw. Elmer, you have had a perplexed look on your face the entire night while Alliance has had the ball.
I just don't understand. But a lot of people agreed that I don't understand, so I'm sure.
Here's Alexander running, and again, very little. Close to the 30. But 3rd and long coming up. They put themselves in like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. 3rd and tough all night.
Yeah.
That's where they've lived. You can't win games there, can you?
No.
I mean, they may squeak this one out.
They got a big break on a fumble here.
I feel like you got to make this into a touchdown.
You got to come away with something.
For a team that has aspirations of winning the league, well, remaining games the rest of the year are going to be just as tough as this one, if not tougher at times. 3rd and 7. Alexander steps up. Cam Stahl going to bring him down again off of the defensive line, the end. That kid has had one heck of a game at defensive end. Well, if you kick a field goal here, you'd make it a 9-point game, but it'd be a long field goal.
Very long.
You know, we've been saying that Alliance looks out of sorts. Credit Canton South's defense too, Elmer.
They've been playing very, very well. And a thing I've been impressed with their tackling.
And that's what they talked about during the week. Coach Reed in his 3rd year said they wanted their defense to get back to basics this week of just tackling. They gave up the 330 yards on the ground last week to Salem. Here's Alexander. Over the middle, pass is intercepted. It's picked off. And coming back the other way is South. And it was a beautiful pick in the open field made by Javon Patterson. He rights the ship for himself. He dropped the pass earlier, comes up with the pick on defense. And this is a nominee for our rock-solid play of the game, brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. Not a good throw.
Nope. Way over his head. He hasn't thrown the ball well at all tonight.
No. He's looked uncomfortable
Yes,
all
he
night.
has.
That's his 4th pick thrown this year. And Alliance going to smartly take a timeout at this point. Elmer, what has it been that's been so, as I said, perplexing if you are Alliance? What has been so confusing?
Again, this is just my opinion. I think you had to punt the ball there, okay? Even if you kick it in the end zone, you know. But I think you gotta
just to play field position.
You gotta have some confidence in your kids.
Yeah.
That they can stop them. I mean, they've been doing a good job. You know, again, Canton South only has a touchdown because they ran a kickoff back.
Other than that, it's a 13-0 game.
Yeah. You know, going for a 4th and 8, I'm not sure. I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm old school. I believe in being conservative and letting your kids play. Comes back to haunt you sometimes, but.
Well, if South is able to take the lead at any point.
Well, I tell you what.
They seem like they're deserving of the win tonight.
They're playing with some momentum, and this will be a very interesting drive here. If they can move the ball.
Yeah, South won Alliance won the EBC title last year. They won the NBC title the year before that. And Karavik back to throw. Wants to throw deep. Man is there, it's picked off. We exchange interceptions on back-to-back possessions, as it was Jordan Sims, the sophomore DB, who came up with the pick. Nominee for our rock-solid play of the game, brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. Again, just not a good throw here.
Yeah, but they have 2 receivers in the same area.
Spot, yeah.
And you're going to bring a lot of defensive backs into the area.
Well, one of these teams wants to win this game. We got to find out who. John Howard in motion.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. The tackle. The tackle was on his knees.
No, sloppiness has ruled the night for both of these teams.
He knelt down.
2-3 against 2-3. One of these teams going to get back to 500. One of these teams going to probably not necessarily pack it up for the year, but be in grave danger of missing the postseason or finishing the year around 500. Alexander. Man is open. That's Sims, who made the interception moments ago. And he turns it upfield, but for minimal yardage.
Well, he got 5 on it.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
6. Got about 6 yards on that.
Again, it doesn't seem like a high percentage play, though, Elmer. Right?
Well, I think you're trying to get your skilled kids in the open field with the ball in their hand. And hopefully the people who are supposed to be blocking for them.
That's Talbert, and made a nifty move at the start. But now 3rd and long, again going to present itself for the Aviators.
Be interesting to see why
that
end got in there so easy.
You mentioned it earlier, there's almost too much to pick from for Alliance offensively. It's like when you go to a restaurant and there's about 100 things on the menu. Pass in the backfield to Jeff Talbert, and Talbert may be close to it, but I believe he's going to be short. He's well short. It's not just short, it's short by a lot.
Instead of shorter, it's shortest, right?
Well, he caught it like 5 yards behind the original line of scrimmage, almost 10. Play never had a chance from the get-go.
Well, they're going to punt this. Okay, good. I feel better about that.
Someone's going to win this game, Elmer.
Somebody.
I don't know who. We may discover soon. Bugera to kick it here. Good snap. Kick is off, and Moses going to watch it bounce. And this is exactly the kick that you wanted if you're Alliance.
Make them go 90 yards and beat you.
That's what you said, flip the field, and that's what they did. We'll see if the Wildcats can do it. They'll have to go 91 yards to take the lead here with about 8 minutes and some change left in the fourth quarter.
You can't tell your cold to wait? Talk to a doctor now with the new Altman Now app. Get the app now. You can't tell your migraine to wait. Talk to a doctor now with the new Altman Now app. Download the Altman Now app now.
For nearly 20 years, thousands of people have relied on SARTA for safe, affordable, reliable transportation.
People like Misty Williams, who's riding SARTA to a brighter future. Misty's a full-time student and mom who uses our fixed routes to get to school, pick up her son at daycare, and return home at the end of a very busy day.
School, shopping, Cleveland, Akron, the airport, for work or for play. People you know count on SARTA to meet their transportation needs. And we deliver.
SARTA, where can we take you today?
And we return back into Breck Bueller Stadium, week 6 of the All Care TV replay game of the week. Man in motion for South, keeping his Tyler Karavik. Karavik with open field. Tyler Karavik with a flag down. He's going to go 91 yards on the first play from scrimmage of this drive, but a flag is down. We'll see where it is.
Oh my, that would be a backbreaker.
I believe it's going to be a false start. We will see. False start on South. That is the definition of a backbreaker.
Wow.
After this fantastic run by Karavik.
That's a great run.
Of 91 yards.
Good speed.
He does.
Shows real good speed.
Lots of speed.
Where's the Lions chasing him?
I don't know. They almost gave up on the play.
They're not in the picture.
They are not. And I know they have some quick kids.
Yes.
Well.
Wow.
I think fans here at Breck Bueller Stadium kind of disappointed that they let them run out that entire play like that if they knew it was coming back. See what South elects to do here. Maybe run the same play?
John, I'm down here on the sideline. The officials are saying that was a legal procedure, not a false start. That's why they let that play go.
Fair. Here goes Karavik again. Karavik fumbled it. Who has it? Alliance holding it, but they're giving the ball to South. I have seen some things, and that is one of the more interesting ones.
It's out.
Yeah, that's South. That's definitely Alliance ball. However, you play the next play.
Bad.
Some of the coaches up here in the booth are even perplexed by that one. Karavik, see what happens on this play. Maybe a timeout here for South. That is what was called. Hey, Monday night, you get to watch the NFL game or listen to the NFL game do it the way that most Browns fans do, which is where you turn it on TV, you turn down the volume of the TV, and then you click on 1480 WHBC at 6 p.m. for the pregame and listen to Jim Donovan and Doug Deacon bring you the action. The way that sports are supposed to be heard on the radio with one of the best in the business in Jim Donovan. And Monday night, 1480 WHBC Sports. Well, she looks cold. 90 degrees yesterday, and now we are at a crisp, balmy 40-something right now. And fans have bundled up like no other. A little under 7.5 minutes left. South with a 2nd and long on their own 9. Man in motion.
Counter. Oh, nothing on that one.
Handoff on the counter, as Elmer said. And the handoff, last guy off of the pile was Javon Patterson, who carried it.
They're down in 12.
Well, if they have a 13-yard pass in the playbook, here's the time to call it. Keep in mind, just moments ago, Tyler Karavik went 91 yards for a score. It was called back. Different personnel in there as well. Blackman, who's had a big game in a number of ways, is out there. He's the top of your screen. Bottom of your screen is Patterson. More of a traditional shotgun here. Man in motion. Hand off Blackman. Blackman has speed. And is he going to get there?
No. It's going to be short.
He is just short. And Shamar is cut down, and he is hurting on the field. Injury timeout on the field. Right idea there, Elmer.
What? Will South kick it here?
I'm not sure. Not much time left in the game. Just one timeout. Ohio State tomorrow on 1480 WHBC Sports. Paul Keels and Jim Lachey will bring you all of the action in that one, as they have all season long. Buckeyes looking for another big win at home against Michigan State and Sparty. See if they can beat the 25th ranked team in the land. Well, we'll see here. Looks like they're going to punt, Elmer.
Well,
why would you not, though? Because...
Well, oh, no, there's no. I
mean, Alliance hasn't proven that they can...
Move the ball?
Yeah, let alone score. Keep in mind, both teams have only scored 1 touchdown apiece tonight. Snap to Knoll here. No pressure at all.
Go get the ball.
Bouguer going to watch it bounce. And turns out to be a very nice kick for South after everything is said and done. Some joking going on up here in the press box as to
if he goes over
being in love with the turf, because a couple years ago the grass would not have had the same effect here. And we'll take a timeout. 5:57 left in the game. It's been sloppy, and we'll see who wants it more when we come back.
Welcome to Friends and Family Credit Union, where we believe every member is a friend of the family.
Hi, I'm Nick Langenfeld, President and CEO of Friends and Family Credit Union. Friends and Family Credit Union provides loans, savings, checking, and other financial services to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Stark County. We provide financial needs in the most reasonable and cost-effective way. What are you waiting for? Stop in one of our locations today to become a friend of the family.
At AltCare, you matter.
When we answer your call or meet with you in person, you are the top priority.
We work with your physician, pharmacy, and over 7,300 other providers. We want to be your trusted resource.
We invest in collaboration, our youth, and our community, which we continue to serve with gratitude.
Commitment and community were the reasons we started over 30 years ago and why we are still here today.
AltCare, where you matter.
And we return back into Breck Bueller Stadium. the home of the Canton South Wildcats, as they host Alliance tonight in what has been a better game than many would have expected. Different quarterback now is Hartso that's into the game, and he gives it off to Jeff Talbert. And Braden Hartso, who's playing quarterback, is typically the wide receiver and typically one of the safeties defensively. Clearly Brandon Alexander, who's been playing banged up over the last couple possessions, not in health well enough to stay out there. That could be a reason as to why some of his play has been a little off tonight at times.
Be interesting if this kid can give a spark to Alliance.
They definitely need it, that's for sure. Hartso now with Talbert in motion. Braden will keep here. Braden Hartso in the open field, held that football out in kind of a naked sense at the end there, and near a first down.
About a yard to go, half a yard. 6 inches.
He ran pretty well there.
Yeah.
Held that football out in a very, as I said,
precarious way.
Yes. That's a good word.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It's not as good as yin and yang, but it's,
no. Well, nothing will ever top your pregame of the philosophy
of Chinese. Oh, there you go.
Here goes
That's
Talbert on the run.
That's a first down.
And Talbert working his way towards a player of the game at this point. Altman Health Foundation player of the game. Well, if you're also Alliance at this point, you're probably a couple first downs away from icing this thing with South with just one timeout remaining, Elmer.
Yep. Yeah, they need a couple first downs here. Now they're gonna use their timeouts.
Actually an official timeout here.
Oh, is it?
And now seconds later, both teams are being called back onto the field.
Why? I don't understand why they told South that they can't be.
Well, it's just a confusing thing that took place. But that seems to be par for the course tonight. I don't even know what course it is that we're playing. It's about a par 87 at this point.
It's like my golf game.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice
Hartso
run.
on the run here. Braden Hartso.
Nice job. Okay.
Bringing a spark late in the game that Alliance needs, and picks up a good chunk of yardage here down to the 38-yard line. Picked up about 16 yards on that play. And when we get a moment, we'll go down to the sideline with Noah Hiles. But we're going to wait until after this upcoming play. So Braden Hartso coming in for the injured Brandon Alexander, the normal starting quarterback, and maybe bringing that final spark that this team needs. This Davion Baker on the carry here, and now down to the sideline again. Take a ride on the zero-emission SARTA bus. And Noah Hiles has a note for us.
John, Brandon Alexander does not look like he's going to be coming back in this one. He's on the Alliance sideline, shoulder pads off, and he has a big bag of ice tied around his left leg. That was the leg that he was hobbling on all game. I think their main focus is just trying to get him ready for next week.
And if you're Alliance, hanging on is key in that equation as well. Another first down might just about ice the game. Hartso gonna run again here. Braden running down, and multiple flags come in. Things taking place after the play as well. Question of where these flags will be. Face mask against South.
Oh, against South.
It's not like South didn't have their opportunities tonight, Elmer, but
well,
still some time left here, but with one timeout, It's going to be tough. There's one of the face masks, yeah. A couple officials saw it. That's why the multiple flags were thrown.
Boy, what a difference with a quarterback change.
I know.
What a difference.
Kind of has brought some life back.
Yes, he did.
To the offense. Excuse me. Clock down to 2 minutes now. Hartsoe, Howard, John Howard. Close to the 10-yard line. At this point, I don't know that there is anything you can do if you're South to right this ship here at the end. You might lose by 6 and be very disappointed.
They have, okay.
They have one timeout left. Had an opportunity, though, if you were South, that's for sure.
If they stop them on this, they got to call the timeout.
Hartsoe gives Talbert, and timeout taken by South.
Okay.
So 3rd and long now. And South is going to take that final timeout.
What do you do? Oh, nobody blocked that guy.
Shavers in there, as well as Dominic Crayley, the outside linebacker. Shavers, the DN. You know, Elmer, South will, well, they may come out on the short end of this score tonight, but I think playing against a team that they were a heavy dog against, I think they have a lot to be proud of.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. They played a good football game. A couple fumbles that hurt them. There's no question about that, but they've played them with some emotion.
4 turnovers for South tonight.
4. That's tough to win.
Not going to win many of those games.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Still some time left here. And
do you run the play where you're running right at the so you can kick a field goal here?
I'm not sure. I mean, you do have that option.
Yep.
Field goal could can completely ice the game. And South jumps. One of multiple times that they have done that tonight. South once led in this game 7-3. Since then, Alliance has outscored them 10-0. And that one score by South was a kickoff return. Hartsoe, joined by Hancock and Talbert. And I believe Hartsoe's probably going to run the ball here. Lots of beef on the right side there. Hartsoe is in from 10 yards out. And that is the final nail in the coffin tonight. If you are the Canton South Wildcats, they fought like crazy tonight, but they are going to come up just short in tonight's football game. And a player is down for South, writhing in quite a lot of pain. See if we can get a look at who might have been injured down there.